Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the top, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still he answered the call. And we say, be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the top, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still he answered the call. And we say, be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show.
If you don't believe that we are in a fight today, you're sleeping under a rock. If you get hit and you lay down and you cry and you fold up in the corner, definitely you will not win the fight. We show up to win. Our culture needs a lot of you young people in here to step up and stand out. There is nothing or no principality, power, division, devil can stop us when we're united. They can only get you when you're divided. When I see the American flag, I see us progressing to something that can be awesome and great. And if you don't plan on winning then, you might as well go on the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to the Officer Tatum Show. Like I told you yesterday, I'm finna be on like Donkey Kong when it comes to this William Anthony McNeil shooting. You guys that watched me on the live yesterday, you remember me talking about this before the body-worn camera came out. And I want you to remember what I said. So therefore you can judge whether or not Brandon Tatum know what he's talking about or not. When I said that there was a lot more to the story, that when you have multiple police officers showing up to the scene, it's because something had transpired before the police officers got there. And the thing is that he turns the camera on conveniently XYZ, right? But then he don't show the portion of what his involvement was when he first turned the camera on. Because he's arguing with the police officers. Now we found out back and forth, and the police officer told him 7 times that you're under arrest to get out the car before they ever started the video. Why is it that he waited 6 months or so to even talk about this, and he posted on social media, never made a formal complaint? Why is it? I know, you know, this is why y'all trust me, because I know what the F I'm talking about. I've done the job long enough. Once you do 100, 200, 300 traffic stops or more, then you get the scenarios that could occur when they occur. But the purpose of this is for me to break down every element of the video. Now, we may start with his video. If we have the old video of his video, we'll start with this video so you can see the contextual perspective of what came out first. So I want to just recap this, and then we're gonna get into what the sheriff said, and we're gonna get into the body-worn camera footage, and then you will see the big picture of why this all makes sense. But so just so you know, they're starting this video after he has done so much and has been disrespectful and all this other stuff. And he cut the video, and I know why he did it. But this is what he put out on the internet, and this is what all the rest of the ignorants are going off of for all of their information. Roll the clip.
When he pulled me over, he walked up, opened my door because my window don't work, right? Okay. And then I said, so what I did wrong? Yeah. He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. I'm like, okay. There's multiple people headlights off, first of all. And then there's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Can you pull that law up?
Huh?
Can you pull that law up?
Yeah, when you step out of the car, I will.
Can you call your supervisor? Huh? Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands.
Here. I'm here.
But you're not getting out the car like you said.
What is your reason?
Step out now.
All right. No, don't.
Stop fighting. Put your hands on your back. Put your hands on.
Okay, now we've seen that part, right? And some people are like, he got punched in the face. Technically, he didn't punch him in the face. He mushed him like this in the face. And I'll say this right off the top because I know a lot of people want to hear me make a delineation. What the police officer did wrong? No. I don't believe it's wrong. Was it illegal? No. Could he have gone without that palm strike to the face? Yes, he could have, I think, accomplished the same thing. But the officer's there in the heat of the moment, and he made the decision that he thought was necessary to execute an arrest. Sometimes when you do people like that, you get their attention, you let them know this ain't a game, we're not playing around, they begin to cooperate and things begin to go the way you want them to go. An officer has the discretion to use a reasonable amount of force that they think is necessary to gain compliance and get a person detained. The officer believed that that was the reasonable thing to do. That's why he did it. But let's go to the body-worn camera footage. Now, we'll go to the sheriff first. Here's what the sheriff had to say about it. I hope this is what I want. Roll the clip.
Charged with resisting arrest without violence.
Yep.
But there was, when I go back and look at the other video from the cell phone video.
Yeah.
Hold on, I don't want this one yet. We can get to this one. I just want him kind of explaining what the investigation was. Do we have that clip? Just from the clip that I sent you, Nick. Yeah. That that big clip that we cut videos from. Yeah, do we not have that somewhere? No, I'd say, Nick, just send me what we cut for Instagram. Yeah. Just send me that portion. I think that'll be sufficient. So we're gonna play a clip from the sheriff and kind of what he said in his press conference. This was kind of like a confrontation between him and another person. I think don't necessarily, get all the points across as leading up to the body-worn camera footage. So I want to get his context here because I want you guys to hear from the chief or the sheriff exactly what we're looking at as far as the investigation is concerned. Now, I can speak for him a little bit for the people that are just joining, so we don't have a lot of dead space here. We'll correct this for the video we put out later, but pretty much they went through an investigation. It was determined by the state prosecutor that there was no criminal activity or no misbehaving by the police officers criminally. Now there's an internal investigation as to the use of force. So the palm strike to the face that you see in the first video and the punch to the face when he was taken down to the ground, there's going to be an evaluation to make sure or to determine whether or not he was acting within department policy. I think that's the fairest investigation possible. When they were made aware of the situation, they investigated it. They determined that there was no criminal behavior of police officers, and they're doing an internal investigation of whether or not the police officers followed protocol. That is how you do it as a police agency. You don't hide, you don't lie, you don't deceive, you do the people's bidding. And that is the whole officers accountable if they're doing something wrong. They didn't hide none of this. The only reason why this is out before the police officers had a chance to respond to it was because they were caught off guard because this had happened 6 months or so ago. This happened in February. The guy was arrested. He was adjudicated. Well, in the system, he was found guilty. He actually pled guilty, and he was guilty of resisting arrest and also something else he was found guilty of. The possession of marijuana. He was found guilty of those things in the court of law, and he did not contest those things. And he did not file a formal complaint. He waited 6 months later for clout. And we know that's what it is. I know that's what it is. I wrote an op-ed on this, and we'll share that. We can share that in the original video. So let's bring up the chief and And this will be the portion that how he started the press conference. Now, the chief said a lot more than this, but I don't have time to play everything the chief said. I'm just going to play the clips that put things in perspective, and you can go back and watch them. I'll put the link somewhere. You go back and watch the whole press conference. It's 30 minutes long. It's 26 minutes, I think. Roll the clip.
JSO became aware that cell phone camera footage purportedly of this arrest was circulating on social media. At my direction, the agency immediately began both a criminal and administrative review of the officer's actions. These administrative reviews are ongoing, but the State Attorney's Office has determined that none of the involved officers violated criminal law. As you'll see in short order, the body-worn camera footage does not capture Officer Bauer's response to resistance when McNeil was seated in the driver's seat. As I explained, although the State Attorney's Office has deemed it not criminal, the response to resistance is now subject of a pending administrative review to determine if Bauer's conduct violated JSO policy. The law requires that a person comply with the police officer's commands during a traffic stop. This is extremely important. There are not options. If you disagree, take care of it someplace else, but not on the side of the road. No one enjoys being the subject of a traffic stop, and there are times in which citizens dispute circumstances of their stops. But the law is clear. A person must comply with an officer's commands, even if that person disagrees with that officer's reasons for the stop. Within 21 seconds of his civil stop or civil traffic infractions, driving without illuminated headlights during the rain or failure to wear a seatbelt, McNeil refused to provide stopping officers with his driver's license and registration. 14 seconds later, he locked his car door and refused to exit the vehicle, despite being told many times that he was under arrest. Moreover, McNeil was warned 7 times that he needed to open the door and exit because he was under arrest for resisting an officer without violence, or police would be forced to break his car window. Soon after McNeil was outside his car, officers found a large, unsheathed serrated knife on the driver's side floorboard.
All right, so that's a little synopsis of what the chief said. He went on before this to talk about the investigatory process, how many traffic stops they've made in this city, how many turned violent, and really the track record of his department and how he's hold officers accountable. And this rarely ever happens, right? People with common sense don't do this when somebody pull you over because a light is out. Now, you're going to find out here in a minute why he did all this over a simple traffic stop. Let's play the body-worn camera. And this is what you all have been waiting for. And be ready to pause when I need it, because I'm going to go through this body-worn camera and explain to you from a police officer's perspective. Now, this is a little ahead of the body-worn camera, so I'm going to get you up to speed. He was pulled over here. The officer gets out of the car. The door is shut when the officer begins to walk up to the vehicle, just like a normal traffic stop. You roll the window down and you converse. But right here, you see the door is ajar. He's going to pop the door open, which raises the suspicion of the law enforcement officer who's making this traffic stop, because it's not normal for somebody to open a door like this. Now, there's a reason why he opened the door, because he claimed his window didn't work, but the officer did not know this. Roll the clip.
Yes, sir.
Is there a reason why you're popping the door open like that?
I don't have a window that works. Is there a reason that you're pulling me over?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on. 2 things, you're not wearing your seatbelt.
It's daylight. I don't need the lights, and it's not weather. It's not raining.
Oh, this is inclement.
It's not raining.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
No, call your supervisor. Why?
Excuse me?
Call your supervisor. Why did you pull me over?
77, 35. I'm proper dog driver. I've already told you.
Why did you pull me over?
Step out of the vehicle.
No. Nah. Bro, what do they make these people? He said, why did you pull me over? The officer said, because you didn't have your headlights on in inclement weather. Now you can see the droplets of rain on his door, the droplets of rain on his windshield and his passenger side window. Why are you arguing with these officers that you didn't have your headlights on in inclement weather and arguing that it's not raining? It's rain on your car. And he says, no. He said, the officer says, this is why I pull you over. No, it's not. You don't have to. No, it's not. Well, sir, okay. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just telling you why I pulled you over. You have your driver's license? No, I'm not giving you your driver's license registration. Where do you think this is going to go next? You think the officer going to say, you know what, man? I know you don't want to get pulled over, and you don't deserve it because you're a black man. So how about you not produce anything to me? And everybody else on the road has to abide by traffic laws except for you. So how about you just shut your door, continue to drive unsafely in inclement weather with no lights on, with no driver's license, and I'm not going to verify who you are. I'm not going to check your driver's license status. You could be a mass murderer. I'm not going to check any of those things. I'm going to let you go. So take your car and drive away. Have a good day. That's not what's going to happen. Have you not watched videos before? Roll the clip.
Step out of the vehicle.
Step out of the vehicle.
25 seconds. For 9-4, the driver just slammed the door and locked it.
Oh, your supervisor.
Yep.
Units and leaders, 25 units, 1050 at West Palm and Commonwealth.
25 seconds. If anybody responded, come in from Commonwealth, block the vehicle, please.
Stop. So like I told you in the other video, if you guys remember, I had made clear mention that there must have been something that necessitated all these cops to respond. And what is he saying? The guy's locked himself in the car. He's being non-compliant, which is a threat, ladies and gentlemen. Officers have been killed, I don't know how many times, in scenarios just like this. Your officer's presence and worry and concern heightens like this when they pull you over because your lights are not on, and you do all this. You are so non-compliant and all of this stuff with a simple traffic stop. What do you have to hide? We're going to find out what he had to hide here in a minute. Roll the clip.
Keep your hands where I can see them, sir. My camera's on too.
Stop. So this is when he actually starts the camera, right? I want y'all to pay attention to this. This is when he actually started the camera. Remember we were saying, I was like, well, where did he start the camera? Because you normally see a person do this and they back off the camera and you know they started it. He edited the camera because the officer said, I'm recording too. So he's watching him, set his phone up and hit record. And the officer said, I'm recording too. So this is when he started. Now I want you to pay attention to when he started, then when he was talking to the officer on the other side of the car. And this is the gap that's missing in the video he released to the public because he's disingenuous. Roll the clip.
I've already told you. Okay. Okay. Right now you're under arrest for resisting. You understand? You're under arrest for resisting. The longer you take us on, the worse it's going to be.
Now stop, pause right here. You see the cop step back here. It's a tactical advantage from a police officer. You have a combative person that's irrational, that's doing all this, lock the door, roll up the window. You can't really see in the car as well. And so you step back here because you have a tactical advantage. In case this guy jump out with a gun or do anything like that, he has to look at you this way. He has to try to see you through a rearview mirror and off this way. You're not right here. He has to then turn around and engage with you. And this is why officers do this and step back. This shows that the officer is concerned at his behavior. Now, all of that, when I said, none of this is on the camera. All of him explaining to him, you're under arrest, get out the car. I told you why you get out the car, you're under arrest, it's gonna get worse. All of this guy edited out of his video that he put to the public. Roll the clip.
Keep your hands where I can see them, sir. Okay.
All of this was edited out of his video. This too.
Sir, this is your last warning to open the vehicle and exit before we're going to break the window. Open the door and exit or we are going to break the window. Open the door and exit or we are going to break the window.
Okay, pause it. This is where he started the video. This is where he started his video. It's him looking back and talking to the responding officer. So if you don't get out the car, we're going to break your window. You need to get out of the car, we're going to break your window. You're under arrest 7 times. He said you're under arrest, or whatever the case may be. He at least warned him 7 times. He explicitly told him why he was being pulled over. He told him that he's under arrest. He told him to get out of the car. He warned him that he would break the window out. All of these things are in the body-worn camera. And Benjamin Crump and his attorneys came out and said that they did not warn him. I saw an article yesterday, and I wanted to call them and cuss them out for being so stupid about the way they wrote it. They said that he was never warned to get out of the car. He was never warned that his window would be broken out, that they just sporadically did this to him because they're lying. Roll the clip.
No, he's under arrest. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting.
Hold on, time out. I was wrong. I think this is where he started. He didn't get none of that on the camera too. Open the door, you're under arrest for resisting. He didn't get none of that on his camera. It's when he started talking to the other officers when he actually started it up. So I could be wrong. This all wasn't on there either. Now that I hear the back and forth, roll it.
He's putting the window down. The fast trying to talk to 2574. Hey, I'm about to break the window.
All right, pause it. This is when you see the officer get ready to break the window. Now look at this. You got the officer that showed up in the front. You got, and this is sheriffs. That mean they're not municipal police. They are out in the wilderness. So it takes forever to get back up. If this was municipal police, they had back up in 2 seconds. But now you got officers flying code 3 from all over the county to try to get here to respond to this officer. And now you have the guy on the other side, you have this officer, and you have 2 cars of officers pulling up now. And this is when he decided that he wanted to kind of put the video out there when the officer began to break the window, roll the clip.
I'm about to break the window.
All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now! Exit the vehicle! Show me your hands.
Here.
1033 at 1621 hours.
Step out. What is your reason? Step out now. No, don't touch it. Get on the ground.
Put your hands behind your back!
I'm resisting.
Hands behind your back!
What's wrong with you? What you mean? I was putting my hands behind my back. I was going.
Pause it. The racist. You see them black 2 officers? I want you to hear what they say when they finally pick him up. I want you to hear what the black officers say. And you tell me if this is a racial encounter or not. The black officers know he's stupid. Roll the clip.
Right now, man. Ain't no talking. What's going, bro? What's going on, man?
You're under arrest. That's what's going on.
No, bro. Yes. Lawful reason, bro.
You don't have a lawful reason.
You gonna throw my phone like that, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it off
now,
of you,
man.
bro.
And I'm just trying to have a regular conversation with y'all, bro.
Just a regular conversation.
You just gotta see what the already.
So your partner didn't even ask.
Marijuana in his right pocket.
Yes, it is. So why close the door if you see him pull up?
Marijuana in his right pocket.
Man, what you mean? He talking about arresting me and stuff, bro. I didn't do nothing.
It's called resisting, idiot.
Marijuana in his right pocket. So let me just break down his charges. And then I think we got the second body-worn camera. Get that ready. So he didn't have his lights on in inclement weather, which that means when it's overcast and it's raining in that state, you have to have your headlights on because it's a danger, because it's almost like driving in the dark. So you don't have headlights on in inclement weather. An officer would typically pull you over and say, just turn your headlights on, man, you're tripping. But then you do all that. He was driving on a suspended driver's license. He had no seatbelt on. He had weed on his person. He had weed on him. That's why he was being like that. It wasn't because he didn't understand the law. He was trying to divert and make such a big deal out of it as if they would let him go because they didn't want them to know he's driving on suspended driver's license, which means he don't have a driver's license. That's why he didn't produce one. And that he didn't have no seatbelt on, inclement weather, and then also he had weed on him. Come on, buddy. Let's pull up the camera. Roll it. This is from the backup officer.
Sir, can you please ask him what did I do wrong?
Well, we're conducting a traffic stop right now. You need to comply.
I am complying.
Hey, unlock the car. I'm gonna push it up.
So none of this is on the camera. He didn't start recording yet, just so y'all know. See, this puts it in perspective too. He clearly didn't have none of this on there. The guy saying you're under resist resisting.
You are under arrest for resisting.
He didn't have this on his camera because he's going to talk to the officer that we see body camera now. It's when he started his video.
Can you unlock the door and step out?
Can you talk to me though?
I will. Can you step out?
Because you don't even know the whole situation.
You're being done. There's a traffic stop being conducted. You're required to comply.
And I'm required to actually.
So,
Can I talk?
yes. Correct. Huh?
He gave no lawful reason why he pulled me over.
Okay. So what did he ask for when he I guess talked to you?
When he pulled me over,
Yeah.
Open my door because my window don't work.
All right, time out. That's what he started right here is when he started. So all of that other conversation that these officers are saying to him, you have a duty to comply, all of this stuff. He made sure he edited the video so none of this incriminating stuff is on here, and he put it out to the public, and Benjamin Crump them behind him on this. Play it.
And then I said, so what I did wrong?
Yeah.
He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. I'm like,
Okay.
there's multiple people headlights.
Okay, that's still a legitimate reason to pull somebody over.
There's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have.
Look at this rain on the car. There's no rain. What did you take your car through the car wash, bro? Like in court, this is never fly for him. Look at the raindrops on his car because it stopped raining. It's still raining. It's muggy. It's cloudy outside. It's rain on your car. Roll it.
Have headlights on. Huh? Yeah, when you step out of the car, I will. Huh? All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands.
Here.
33 at 16:21 hours.
I'm here. What's your reason, sir? What is your reason?
Step out now.
All right. Get on the ground. Don't fucking get on the ground. Stop fighting! Behind your back! I'm resisting!
Hands behind your back. What's wrong with you?
2574, lift 1033, one in custody.
Stop. Lean up. Lean up.
now, man. Ain't no talking. Bro, I'm cool, bro. What's going on, man?
You're under arrest.
No.
Yes, bro.
You
Yes.
have a lawful reason, bro. You gonna throw the ball like that, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it off of you, bro.
Good? Yeah.
And I'm just trying to have a regular conversation with y'all, bro.
That's not how it works.
Too late. It ain't no too late.
When they asked you to step out of the vehicle, you should have done that.
Sir, your partner didn't even act. Your
Marijuana
partner
in your right
didn't.
pocket.
Yes, it is.
So why close the door if you see him pull up?
Because, man, what you mean? He talking about arresting me and stuff, but I didn't do
Oh,
nothing
call
wrong.
resisting, idiot.
I didn't do nothing wrong.
Yeah, that officer's sick of this stuff, man. He's sick of these people. So, hope that it answered questions. Now, let me just explain this. It wasn't on the. You don't see him punch the guy on the body-worn camera anywhere. And this is why. This is where the controversy starts because there's no punching on the body-worn camera. So there's no evidence that he was ever punched. And I think that's why the controversy wasn't a thing until his video emerged. And you see him getting punched on his video. You see him getting mushed like this in the face in the car, and then you see him take one to the chin on the before they took him down to the ground. All of that, none of that is illegal. I don't care what people think. Use of force is predicated upon what an officer deems is reasonable, not what you deem is reasonable. Because you are sitting on your couch or you watching the TV in your car. I mean, you're watching the phone in your car, whatever you're doing. You're not physically there dealing with the emotional stress of the situation in its totality. And that kid was so disingenuous that he literally cut majority of the incriminating content from his video when he put it out to the public. The guy told him numerous times why he was pulled over, numerous times that he was under arrest to get out the car. Even the one he was talking to told him, you have to comply, get out the car. That is a legitimate stop. And then he turns the video on that short part when he said a couple things and the officer knocked the window out. So just for everybody that was wondering, is this illegal or not? It is what it is, man. They do this every time. I would support the brother if he hadn't cut the video and lied. Then I'd be like, yeah, you legitimately believe you were done wrong. Let me evaluate it. But when you're cutting the video and working with Benjamin Crump, you just want a payout. And unfortunately, the way our society is, they will pay him out, even though the cops did nothing wrong. And they're probably not going to be disciplined whatsoever. And then you saw in the video at first there was a knife in the car. Now, I don't think the knife matters much from the officer's perspective because the officers didn't seem to notice the knife when all this was going on. But when you look back on it, you say, what could he have possibly been thinking about doing? Play the clip a little bit so we can see the knife and where it was located. See, pause it. Well, you can't see it. Play it.
Well, that sticks. From you. No. Yeah, you see that knife?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest concerns.
Yeah, you see what's right there, right there on the seat.
See, pause it. Y'all see that? You see this? You see the handle on the knife? It's right there on the floor. A big old knife. That knife is probably about 12 inches. Now think about this for a minute. And this is why officers need to act expeditiously, and they need to show a level of I'm not effing around, because why does he have a knife like that on the floorboard? Why? Was if you gave him enough time, was he planning on stabbing one of these officers with that knife? He has it there right on the floorboard. Nobody's driving with a big old knife under your feet. Well, he looked like he got water bottles and everything on his feet. He gonna die in that car just off of can't push the brakes. Knife go under the pedal. He can't put the brakes. I don't know if they moved some of this stuff, got knocked down there or not, but the knife was there. And what was he going to do with the knife? This is why cops always have to be vigilant. They always have to take this stuff serious. You can't be playing with people, because maybe, just maybe in his mind, he thought, I'm going to stab one of these dudes. But then when that other guy came and he wasn't playing and he about business, he thought about it. Oh, shoot, I don't know if I'm really about that life. You get a weak officer out there that's kind of, sir, please, sir, sir, and he like, I'm going to stab this guy and run away. Versus somebody that's like, I'll kill you in this mother. That's how I used to be. I didn't cuss, but I used to be on their head, boy. I wanted them to know I'm not playing. If you wanted to play, you should have played before I got here. Because when I show up, it's on. I'm going home to my family. I'm going home to ride my bike the next day. I want to live a full life. I don't care about your life when it's against mine. If you wanted to play, then play before I get here. Now that daddy's home, I'm laying down the law. I told you to get out the car once. I asked you, I'm going to tell you, and then I'm going to make you. And if I had to punch you in your face for you to comply to what I'm telling you to do, you're going to get punched in the face. If a body blow is good enough, then you get a body blow. It depends on what I think will work for you. And you don't want none of that smoke? I don't want it either. I'm a Christian man. I would love to give you a warning and tell you to go about your ways. Make sure you turn your lights on. Maybe you're unfamiliar with the law, and this is a safety hazard. But when you want to play games, you're going to win stupid prizes. I just want you to know that. And so for all you thuggish, ruggish bones out there that think y'all want to be hip and you listen to these street lawyers that's telling you stuff that ain't even real, when the officer pull you over, just listen to what he asks you to do. 9 times out of 10, if you're reasonable, they don't want to waste their time writing out a ticket. A lot of times cops, we used to have electronic, I'm going to say this and I'm moving on. We went from paper tickets that you write out to electronic print ticket. Now the print tickets were way easier. We just put your driver's license in there, it auto-populates, boom, they can print that in seconds. Back when cops had to write, in some of these counties, they still write tickets. They got to write your name, date of birth, address, citation number, reasonable suspicion, whatever. They got to write this and write that. And they got 3 copies that they got to flip over and give you 1 copy and explain it. Man, unless you're doing something crazy, they don't want to do all that. And sometimes cops like, I want to be chilling on the weekend. I don't want to have to go to court for you on the weekend. On the flip side of that, you know, now we got the printers to print it out. We used to get overtime for going. So please make my day. I will give you a ticket because I'm finna go to court and I get a 3-hour minimum. So you mess with one person, you better be on your P's and Q's because they may want to give you a ticket. If you're a motor officer, listen, if you get pulled over by a DUI officer or a motor officer, this is what they do. They only give tickets. And they're going to give you as many tickets as they can so that they can be at court all day and make $50,000 more on their salary. So you don't break the law. You won't have to worry about it. All right, let's go to the next story. I think I beat that dead horse into oblivion. Trump calls out Obama and the DOJ. No, they calls out that the DOJ should do an investigation into Barack Obama. But I want to say this real quick. Somebody pull up the store. We got a new shirt out. And we'll pull it up in a minute. Y'all don't have to just go to the store. If people that follow me and love the store, you own the store all the time. We got a new shirt out that's the Shady Bunch. We got a new iteration of Shady Bunch. It's probably not available right now, but let me see. It should be a new category. Hold on, let me control it. There you go, right here. So just flip it and then we'll do it. I just want y'all to see this. So if you want the shirt, put your name on the list because once we start selling, they're going to sell out. All right? It didn't work right.
Yeah, I got it. It was the wrong capture.
And now it's kind of off a little bit. So I'll get Alcatraz.
It should cycle back, right?
I'm going to refresh the video. Hold on. Let me take over and refresh it. Let me refresh it real quick. Sorry, y'all. I got to delay y'all. All right, go for it. All right. So this is the new Shady Bunch. So if you want it, get it. Donald Trump mentioned it, but it's not available yet. The Shady Bunch, you got to hit notify me made available, and it will be produced today. We will make it available today. So if you love it, you want it, go get it before it's out. All right, give me back to Donald Trump.
Wait, do you want to do training?
Give me back to Donald Trump. Okay. So let's talk about Trump just real quick and then fix my TV. Let's talk about Donald Trump just real quick. He's calling for an investigation into Barack Obama and his whole administration because of what they did. And I think that Obama needs to be held accountable. Will he? Y'all think? No. Hillary Clinton did. I'm going to say this till I'm green in the face. Hillary Clinton did the craziest thing I've ever seen anybody in public office do, or just about. She was the most egregious. The FBI director admitted that she committed the crimes that they said she did, and they didn't do anything about it. She had an unsecured server in her house. That is a security risk if I've ever seen one. Monitored by who? Not the government. A private citizen who did not have a security clearance was monitoring her server that she's sending and receiving classified and top secret information on. That is the craziest breach of information, potential breach of national security that anyone could have ever done in the history of the country. And then we know that her thing was intercepted from her private server. Classified documents. People got killed because they believe that information that was on her server that was communicated got intercepted. And some of our allies and spies got killed because they were able to get this top secret information while she was sending it. People got killed over it. And they did nothing. This what Obama did was bad, but Hillary Clinton was crazy. And they admitted in front of the country. She did send and receive hundreds, and she lied and everything. She received hundreds of classified information on that server. Then she deleted 30,000 items of evidence. And she said, who went through the evidence? Her lawyers who who did not have a security clearance. So she exposed her lawyers to top secret information that they didn't have clearance. So that's against the law. The server is against the law. Sending and receiving classified information is against the law. The breach of confidentiality information is against the law. She should have lost her security clearance at minimum, but she ran for president. So I know they're not finna do nothing to Obama. They should, but they ain't. All right, roll the clip.
From your perspective, who should the DOJ target as part of their investigation? What specific figures in the Obama administration?
Well, based on what I read, and I read pretty much what you read, it would be President Obama. He started it. And Biden was there with him, and Comey was there, and Clapper, the whole group was there. Brennan, they were all there in a room. Right here, this was the room. This is much more beautiful than it was then, but that's okay.
He had to add
nice
this.
Pictures up that came out of the vaults. They were in there for 100 years. This is much more beautiful. We have the Declaration of Independence now in the room, which wasn't here. I guess people didn't feel too good about putting it here, but I do. But you know what? If you look at those papers, they have them stone cold, and it was President Obama. It wasn't lots of people all over the place. It was them too. But the leader of the gang was President Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him? And except for the fact that he gets shielded by the press for his entire life, that's the one they... Look, he's guilty. It's not a question. You know, I like to say, let's give it time. It's there. He's guilty. This was treason. This was every word you can think of. They tried to steal the election. They tried to obfuscate the election. They did things that nobody's ever even imagined, even in other countries. You've seen some pretty rough countries. This man has seen some pretty rough countries, but you've never seen anything like it.
100%. Do we have another clip? Because he did talk about how they stole the election from him. We don't have that clip. I think we posted the clip though on our Instagram, but don't worry about it. We'll come back to it. But he also mentioned that they did this in the election in 2016. They stole the election in 2020, and he won decisively in 2025. And this is the biggest amount of evidence that you could ask for.
Obama's office just released a statement just now.
Okay, let's put it up. I guess Obama's office just released a statement responding to Trump. Okay, it says, out of respect for the office of the president, our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense. Is this real?
Yes, I double checked it.
It seems not well written as far as it sounds superfluous just as much as what Trump be saying. Constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of the White House with a response. But these claims are outrageous enough to merit one. These bizarre allegations are ridiculous and a weak attempt at distractions. Nothing in the documents issued last week undercut the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked and influenced the 2016 presidential election, but did not successfully manipulate any votes. These findings were affirmed in a 2020 report by the Bipartisan Senate Intelligence Committee led by then Chairman Marco Rubio. Now, this is what I think about this. I don't know what the reports say, and Donald Trump be saying all kind of crazy stuff, but you can't jump to the ending of something. There should have never been this much investigatory efforts in the first mother freaking place. Because according to the documents that Trump said is that they knew there was nothing there before they started investigating. Now you can say they investigated and there ended up being nothing there, but what did you create to get to that point? We do know the Steele dossier was fake. That was determined and factual. We do know that Hillary Clinton's campaign paid for the investigation. That was fake. They got FISA warrants on stuff. It was all fake. How was it fake, Brandon? Because before they did the investigation, they knew there was nothing there. Obama can say what he wants. It doesn't matter that there was no findings there because think about this. That there was nothing there that substantiated that the Russia interference affected the votes. Clearly it wasn't, because that wasn't real. But what it does not talk about is how Donald Trump's family was investigated. Donald Trump's son was investigated. They did 3 years of investigating into Russia collusion. They indicted Trump on Russia collusion on television. All of these things that they did to create this persona that they attempted to influence the support of Donald Trump and the Republican Party. That's election interference. So you could say nothing came of this. Well, yeah, something did come of it. That's like me saying that there's a guy on my team that I'm suspecting is stealing money from me. I'm suspecting that he's stealing money from me from a separate company, right? And then we do an internal investigation to a certain degree, and the people that did the investigation come to me and say, yeah, we don't have really no evidence that he stole the money. There's no real evidence he stole the money. There's none there. And I'm like, well, we better make something there. And then I do a whole 3 years of running him through the dirt and investigating his whole family and everything. And I knew at the beginning that there was no there. Bring his clip up again because I want to address that last part. Bring his quote up again. Okay, the very end I wanted to, it says, these findings were affirmed. Listen to what Obama said. This is why these mother freaking people are so evil and gaslighting. This is what he said. These findings were affirmed in a 2020 report by a bipartisan Senate Intelligence Committee led by Marco Rubio. What findings were affirmed? That let me show you what findings he said was affirmed. That Russia worked to influence the 2016 presidential election but did not successfully manipulate any votes. That means that it was confirmed that Trump had nothing to do with this, which is what was confirmed before they even started an investigation into him, which is a special counsel and all this stuff that they did. Obama is not addressing what Donald Trump is actually criticizing him over. Donald Trump is not criticizing him over that there was an investigation and that there was no evidence there that Donald Trump colluded. But what we're saying is that you guys took Donald Trump through the rigmarole. You guys tried to ruin his reputation. You tried to ruin his administration. You tried to ruin him from ever running again by pushing a fake dossier, a fake investigation when Barack Obama knew before they ordered the special counsel that it was bullcrap. This is what makes me mad because people are like, oh, look what Barack Obama say. And then people who are nutty in their mind go, see? Marco Rubio was a part of it. A part of what? Marco Rubio was a part of pretty much finding out there was bull shenanigans from the beginning. Oh, my God, these people are annoying. He didn't address whether or not he knew. What part of that did he address whether or not he knew I had information to know that it was nothing there before they started the investigation? That's what Donald Trump is talking about. That's what the findings are saying. Nothing to do with what Barack Obama is saying. All right, let's move along.
We also got Tulsi's response to Obama.
Okay, we have Tulsi Gabbard's response to Obama. Let's play that. I love this. This is rapid fire. Roll the clip.
From former President Obama there. He's saying that none of this makes any sense, that this is a distraction. What do you say to that?
Let's see what she say.
It's the art of deflection coming from former President Obama as well as his friends who are still in Congress today, and Senator Warner and Congressman Jim Himes, really all basically saying that exact same statement, which doesn't actually address the issue that was revealed in great detail in the over 100 documents that we released last week, and the documents that we will be releasing later this week that point to the undeniable fact that you laid out in your introduction to this segment, is that the intelligence community had one assessment, that Russia did not have the intent or capability to try to impact the outcome of the U.S. election leading up to Election Day. The same assessment was made after Donald Trump was elected by the American people as president in 2016, defeating Hillary Clinton. And it wasn't until after that pulled President's Daily Brief document that you referenced that the Principals Committee was called in the National Security Council, and President Obama then directed Obama's ODNI, DNI James Clapper, to lead the effort to create this new intelligence community assessment that detailed not if, but how Moscow attempted to influence the outcome of the U.S. election. So this is the thing that I think people should pay attention to, is neither the message from President Obama's office, neither the statements coming from Democrats in Congress today and their friends in the propaganda media. None of them are addressing this fact that there was a shift, a 180-degree shift from the intelligence community's assessment leading up to the election to the one that President Obama directed be produced after Donald Trump won the election, that completely contradicted those assessments that had come previously. The second thing I want to address that's very important, Laura, is that you in the clip that you played, you saw John Brennan, James Clapper, James Comey stated with high confidence this January intelligence community assessment that they drafted at the direction of President Obama. The fact is that they used already discredited information like the Steele dossier. They knew it was discredited at that time, yet they used it as a source for this document that they claim to have high confidence in. They used intelligence that some of these intelligence community professionals rejected previously because of the lack of credibility and the lack of the ability to vet with any kind of confidence whether or not that information or intelligence was accurate and could be used for an assessment. There's a long laundry list of facts and intelligence reporting that directly contradict the statement coming from President Obama's office and those who are trying to deflect away from what actually happened, which was after Donald Trump was elected, led by President Obama, there was an effort to create a document that would serve as a foundation for what would be a years-long coup against President Trump, therefore trying to subvert the will of the American people who sent him to the White House in 2016.
Well,
Thank you for your service, Tulsi Gabbard. This is what I'm saying, right? It's something on the. This is what I'm saying. Is that they tried to get him impeached over this. They tried to, but they couldn't get it through. So you can't say, well, because he didn't get impeached over this, that they weren't trying to. They were trying to. It's just that the investigation, and it was such a fraudulent thing that it never amounted to anything. But they were trying to get him under the guise, and they said it on TV every day, that it was the election wasn't real. It was an illegitimate election. He's an illegitimate president. Hillary Clinton said multiple times, he's an illegitimate president. And this is what they were using to discredit him. And they wanted to say his family, him, thank you, brother. His family, him, were all involved in colluding with Russia to steal an election. And if you're colluding with Russia to steal an election, there's consequences for your actions in doing that. One is to be impeached from the presidency. They tried to and failed. That does not negate that they tried. That's why crimes are attempt. They have an attempt. Like, just because you didn't murder a person don't mean you didn't attempt to murder them, right? You shoot a person and they didn't die. That don't mean that you off. Well, I didn't kill them, so nothing happened. No, it meant you tried, but you failed. I attempted to rob. That means I went with the intent to rob a person, but somehow it got thwarted. The cops showed up. I got scared or whatever, but my intent was to rob. Their intent was to get him removed from office and thwart the will of the people. Okay. I got two things to do. Show y'all brand new, right off the press. My boy Brandon brought this in here. Get you one. It's available now, because I told them when they get the sample ready that we'll make it available. They gave me my sample. It is available now. Order it. I think we got a discount. We'll put it somewhere. This shirt is so funny. I'm finna wear this to Hawaii. Maybe on the plane, I'm wearing it to Hawaii. Also, I want to tell you guys about Vandy Chips. One of my favorite chip companies. I want to say one of my favorite. This is the only chip company that I support and that I will eat, right? Boom. Vandy. Now, I told you guys about masa. Masa is incredible. It's great. But Vandy is my favorite when it comes to potato chips. Masa is some of like the chips you'll do on the nachos. But Vandy is the chips that are potato chips. They're good, soft, little bit of grease on it. That's what I like. And I'll tell you this also is that they have really good, incredible ingredients. Now, don't mind the green screen, but they have great ingredients. I'll read them to you so you know that This is clean, and this is why I still eat them. I got 20 packs over here, and I ate through one of them. I just gave you this one that's unsealed because I want it to look good, because the other one tore up and is ate up. So let me read the ingredients for you right on the back. It's very simple. 100% grass-fed beef tallow and sea salt and potatoes. That's it. That's it. Find a chip where it's just potatoes, 100% grass-fed beef tallow, and sea salt. And they got a whole bunch of incredible flavors. So if you want them, you want to eat healthy, you want healthy options, you want to indulge without feeling guilty, you have your Vandy chips. All you got to do is go to the link down in the description section, or Vandy chip or vandycrisp.com/Officer Tatum. Use code Officer Tatum for 25% off your first order. So if you're a first time buyer, you'll get 25% off if you use discount code Officer Tatum. All right. I love you guys. Now my mouth is watering because I'm holding them chips right here. I want to stop the show and eat these chips, and I'm not even lying to y'all because I'm hungry. But anyway, I got to finish the show. I think I said what I need to say about Obama. These people are evil. They're fraudulent. And, of course, they're going to come out and make a statement. And, of course, nobody's going to get arrested. This is how they get away with it all the time. They're going to come out and say, "We look at them deranged. They just making up stuff." His intelligence agency said that it was proven that they interfered, but it wasn't consequential to voting. Nah, that's not what y'all pitched. Y'all pitched that he worked with them to steal the election. Donald Trump did not work with them whatsoever. That was not, hold on. Make sure you put this in the video when we cut it, Nick, this part. I just want to make sure this is clear too. There is a major difference between did Russia interfere in our elections, then Donald Trump colluded with Russians to interfere in our elections. That's a big deal. They probably interfere in our election every year. Every government interferes in our election. There's all kind of stuff that happen every single year. I don't care if it's a Republican or a Democrat. But the difference is you guys made the claim that Donald Trump colluded with the Russians and claimed that you had evidence that he colluded with the Russians, that his family colluded with the Russians. You claim you had evidence of that. Your claim wasn't that did Russia interfere in our elections. That's a different investigation than did Trump collude with them. Okay. I may have said collude twice, but y'all know what I'm saying. I get hyped. All right. I think I beat that dead horse into oblivion. All right. Let's get to Sonny hosting The View on Colbert getting fired. Y'all know that Colbert got fired. Some of y'all are familiar with it. Clearly he got fired because his show sucks. Right? Bashing Trump doesn't work anymore. Can people pick up the slack on that? Bashing Trump really don't work no more. It was cute in 2016. Cute in 2017. 2018, it was kind of cute. 2020, it was a little sexy. Had a little bit tan lines and stuff, right? I mean, no tan lines, just smooth and sexy. But then after a while, people say, well, wait a minute. Y'all lying like a mud. People been listening to Brandon Tatum and being like, light bulb went off. I ain't never thought of that. Wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Donald Trump ain't doing none of y'all say anything. And then when Joe Biden got in the office and you realize he was terrible, they go, oh, wait a minute. I like when Trump was in office. Wait a minute. These people don't know what they're doing. Wait a minute. Joe Biden is falling up and down stairs. These people are unserious. Wait a minute. Trump ain't what we thought he was or what they said he was. Therefore, people ain't buying that boogeyman, he's Hitler thing no more. Even if they do not like him, they still know he ain't that bad like y'all making him out to be. So let's play this Colbert clip and then we'll play the Sonny hosting. I think this is the first one. This is clip 1, right? Yeah. Roll it.
On Friday, Donald Trump posted, I absolutely love that Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings.
Facts. That's facts.
How dare you, sir? Would an untalented man be able to compose the following satirical witticism? Go yourself.
He's so cool. He said a cuss word on TV. Oh, you got fired, bro. Your show was losing $40 million. The show reportedly lost $40 million in 1 year. 40. Y'all like the WNBA up in this mud. $40 million. Your show lost 40. How do you even spend $40 million on a show? No, it's a show lost $40 million. They can spend hundreds of millions. His show lost $40 million. It's because all that Trump bashing and that corny stuff y'all doing don't work no more. People are over that. There's a no generation of people that's like, yeah, that's corny as a mud. All right, let's go to Sonny Hostin. With the extra. No, I'm just playing. All right, play the clip.
It could be financial, and I don't know that it's purely political. It could be, but my concern is if it is political, then everyone should be concerned. People on the right should be concerned. People on the left should be concerned, because it's very clear that if it is political, this is the dismantling of our democracy. This is the dismantling of our Constitution, right? And so the First Amendment is the First Amendment for a reason, and that is freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom to speak truth to power. If that is taken away, if the comedians are being attacked, then that means our Constitution is being dismantled. That's right. That means the very rubric of our democracy is being dismantled. And I think every single person should be really, really concerned about it. I'm thrilled that Senator Warren, Elizabeth Warren, Senator Bernie Sanders is asking Skydance, is asking for answers whether or not this was political. The Writers Guild is actually asking the Attorney General to look into this situation to find out if it was political. And if we find out it is political, what are we going to do as a country? We must protect our Constitution and we must protect our democracy. I think this is bigger than just the cancellation of a television show.
I think it's great.
Man. Hold on. These people so stupid, it almost makes me sick to my stomach. They're wondering, somebody grandma watching this and thinking they serious. How do you wonder, and give me the big screen. Oh, I'm in the big screen, sorry. How do you wonder if this is political when he was losing $40 million a year, or he lost $40 million in the last year? Tell me it's political when he averaged 2.4 million viewers. And he did have a pretty decent spot, but his ratings were not as good. And he was losing money. And I don't know why people think it's political. It's funny because they bash Trump, they kill Trump in effigy. They do all kinds of things to Trump on these left-leaning networks, and nobody ever say anything. And then all of a sudden, they're losing their jobs because they're corny and nobody's buying it no more. All of a sudden, somehow Trump has influence of Colbert's show, but he didn't for the last 10 years. What are we really saying here? Of course, they're gonna make a thing. No, he corny. Joy Reid was no. She's. I make videos about it all the time. She's terrible. She is the dumbest woman on television. That's why they had to let her go. You think they want to let somebody go that's bashing Trump? No, they love when they bash Trump. They just can't make no money bashing Trump. Let me see. Let me read this because I need to read my research. So I know my bad. He averaged 2.4 million viewers in early 2025, maintained #1 spot in the late night TV, which he still sucked. #1 spot amongst sucky people. Only major late night host gaining viewers in 2025. Ratings were not falling as much as people say it is. Audience was stable and growing a little bit. Well, the truth of the matter is, if you are doing that, then how do you lose 40 million? Okay, what that means is that just because everybody else sucks more than you, don't mean that you don't suck. Just because everybody else is losing more followers than you, don't mean that just because you got a little bit more, don't mean that you're not, that you're bang for your buck with these people. Colbert had a show forever. They trying to bring some new blood in. Ain't got nothing to do with Donald Trump. I want to investigate. Now let's talk about one of my favorite people, Kevin O'Leary. Because he just slapped these people over the head in this CNN clip about the economy. And for all the rhinos out there, I didn't say no names, but for all the rhinos out there that were concerned, or I think drawing an illegitimate concern to a certain degree. And I said this before, the economy ebbs and flows, bruh. It's going to go down and up and down and up. But over time, where does it stand? You're not day trading. And so according to statistical data, 2025, as of the 22nd, which is today, all-time intraday high of $6,300 essentially. And that was of yesterday. All-time closing high of $6,300. It's $6,305 actually if you're paying attention to the stock market, the S&P 500. As of yesterday, it's at a high. 10 times there has been record highs of the year as of 7/22, which is today. These highs occurred under President Donald Trump's second term. The S&P 500 trading around 628. Market remains near record high. I can go down a list of all kinds of other accomplishments. Let's keep going. Let's keep going so people don't think I'm just making this stuff up. S&P 500 hits a record closing at 6,300, which is what I said before, marked a 10th all-time high in 2025. The Dow and NASDAQ are at record high. Let's see, the GDP reaches a record of $29 trillion, $29.2 trillion. The real GDP, and that was the nominal GDP, I'm sorry. The real GDP, adjusted for inflation, is on a slight decline of 0.5 in the first quarter of 2025 after 2.4 growth in 2024's last quarter. The stock market is booming, but inflation and borrowing costs still affect everyday Americans. So we see that the economy is growing. We see that there's good signs of the economy growing. We see that your money is growing better. We can always work to improve other things. Donald Trump's market is going well, and all of the other things that happen will follow suit. He's not even out of his first year as president. Come on, Kevin O'Leary. Let's put him on and roll the clip. I need some more chips.
What they care about, look at the American economy right now. A lot of people had a lot of mistrust on the tariff issue. Economy's on fire. Indexes all-time highs. Every country on earth wants to cut a deal with America. The average person at the kitchen table is not worrying about Epstein. Don't give a damn. They want to provide for their family, and they are. America's working.
So
this is the American.
So hold on. Let me just say,
working.
Jerome Powell just announced that he's going to hold off on cutting interest rates again
Who
because
cares?
of the tariffs, and we've already started to see the inflationary pressures.
We have a lot
associated with
more
those
on the
tariffs.
economy later in the show, but just one thing that you said, Kevin, that I think is.
Epstein's alive?
No. There are two aspects of it. I mean, I think on the one hand, I think you're right that it's kind of like a niche interest here, this Epstein thing, but the niche is Trump's base, people in Trump's base. But secondly, on the broader picture of what is happening in the country and how do Americans feel about it, CBS YouGov poll asked, how do you think things are going here in this country? 61% said very or somewhat badly. That's not exactly a great indictment of the Trump economy. And then on top of that, to what I was saying earlier, on the Epstein files, this is what Republicans want. 83% want the files released. So I think both of those things is part of why Trump is having a hard time right now.
I hope they release them.
They're
He'll
not,
still be dead.
Yeah. He will still be dead.
He's gonna be dead for a long time.
But Trump lives and dies on his base.
Yeah.
And the base right now they're unsteady.
I don't understand why he hasn't released the files, as he said. It's one of the reasons I believe that they released today the files on Martin Luther King Jr., because now he's able to show, hey, look, I told you I was going to release the MLK file, the JFK file, and also the Epstein file. It's going to take a little bit of time. I don't know the reason why. Personally, I don't think people are going to find Donald in that file as much as they think that they're going to. That's just my personal opinion, kind of knowing him for a decade and a half. Nevertheless, I want to see the file. I'm sick and tired of all of the conspiracy theories that are popping up. If you are a detractor, yeah, he's guilty of something. If you are a supporter, he didn't do anything. This is all nonsense. How about just put the documents in front of the American people, release it, and let us then examine the documents, as we call it in law, documentary evidence. It'll speak for itself instead of listening to all the nonsense.
I would love.
I let him talk without interrupting him. But do y'all understand this is Michael Cohen? It's funny. It's funny to me. And I know this is not about Michael Cohen, but it's funny to me and also equally perplexing that Donald Trump is a bad guy. He got 34 felonies for a crime that he was involved in. He was the attorney that went to prison. I'm confused. This guy was responsible in part if they claim that Donald Trump paid a prostitute to hush money and hid it through his business. He was the one that he paid it to make it happen. So he was a contributing factor in the foolishness that they claim Trump got indicted for. And he's on CNN talking. He's a disgraced lawyer. He went to prison. I think he can't even practice law anymore. What are we saying? Now, I don't know if he can't practice law, but I don't know how he still practice law. Because he used to work for Trump. The dude turned on Trump. The dude said Trump is guilty. The dude said Trump's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. He testified against Trump in the court of law, and Trump ain't did an ounce of time in prison. He don't even have community service. And they got him on TV. Let me get back to the facts because we're going to get to the economy here in a minute. Roll it.
For them to release the files, I am not at all in Trump's base. However, I care deeply about it because I'm not going to buy this argument that like these young girls were raped by what? Did they rape themselves? No, they got raped by people who are in powerful positions. And I want to know how many of those individuals are currently serving in our government in some role or the other.
Average American awake for 18 hours a day. How many minutes do you think they spend worrying about this stuff? Maybe they were raped, maybe they weren't. This is not what American families give a damn about.
Just to be clear,
they just
we
don't
do
care.
know that there were victims, so that's not speculative.
We do know that there were victims. And the thing is, people can compartmentalize, right? And the reason why people care about this a lot, not just because of the very real Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking and the crimes that were committed, it is the fact that Donald Trump himself spent years, him and his allies, promised their base.
But what I will say is this the right one? Yeah. We spent all that time on the wrong clip. I might as well, this is what we're going to do. I want to finish this conversation, and then I'm going to go back to the correct clip. Let's finish this conversation real quick because although we can put this together, I think it's important to understand this. I'm glad they're talking about the Epstein thing just a little bit because I agree with Kevin O'Leary on this, and I'm going to agree with him on this next clip. But I agree with Kevin O'Leary on this. Why can't people compartmentalize this Epstein thing? I don't understand why we're so out of whack about this. The American people couldn't give a F less about what this Epstein thing is really all about at the end of the day. I don't care what Epstein did. There is crime that's being committed right now, and there's crime that's going to always be committed. It's not that I don't care, meaning I don't think he needs to be held accountable. It's just that at the end of the day, that doesn't affect my bottom line. That doesn't affect whether our country is going to live or die, to be quite honest. I care about the economy. Nobody's trading right now in the stock market and thinking about, dang, Epstein is, there ain't nobody care about that, bro. Ain't nobody's going to the acquisition of a business and be like, hey, what's your thoughts on Epstein before we make this business acquisition? Nobody cares. We want them to cut interest rates. Nobody's trying to sell their house and talking about Epstein unless it's a sidebar. It has nothing to do with selling your house or nothing to do with renting your house. It has nothing to do with purchasing power. It has nothing to do with a startup company. It has nothing to do with raising your children. It has nothing to do with the school system, whether or not it's lacking thereof of getting your kids a proper education. It has nothing to do with men and women's sports. It has nothing to do with abortion rates. It has nothing to do with murder rates. It has nothing to do with the economy of communities, gentrification, anything else that people want to talk about. Epstein ain't got to do with none of that. Now, people may care about it on this offset of like, oh, it's a conspiracy. It's juicy. Who was involved in it and that. But the average person, you stupid if this is number one on your chart. You are stupid. This is like people say, because that means it's government corruption. You think that you don't have no evidence that is a hypothesis of what could be behind the curtains, but you're going to spend the rest of your life and throw yourself off a cliff and make this number one priority when there could be nothing really there. I think there's something there, but I don't know if there's something there enough for me to prioritize. Now, you put all your eggs in a basket and there's nothing there. What do you have? That dude could be just like Diddy, but just doing it like white people do it. He the white P. Diddy. I can see the scenario being just as clear. Him rubbing shoulders with certain powerful people. Hey, I got the girls. You know what I'm saying? I got the, hey. And I'm going to tell you, man, y'all got to understand, people, Epstein must have been very charismatic and one of those people that if he actually used his talents for good, he would have been an incredible person. But he was an evil person. He probably went to hell. But he's the type of person that knows how to go to a party and mingle and connect with people and talk and have meaningful dialogues and put all this stuff in perspective. And then now he's talking to them about, hey, you can use my jet. Oh, I own this, or I'm here, I'm there. And he's networking. He has this big web of networking where people are connecting people to connect. And then he's also connecting people and making money off connections. And then I can see him also saying, hey, I got an island. What you want to do, your wife will never find out. I'll fly you on my private jet. Therefore, you know, the log is whatever. We can manipulate the logs or whatever. You could take drugs there. You could take women there. You could do all this stuff. I could see him doing that and people paying him for that access. That don't mean he's Mossad. You know what I'm saying? They're just paying for access. But anyway, I think it's important to talk about this. I know the video was wrong, but I just had to give my 2 cents. Like, can we put this in perspective? The American people really don't care about this as a big, hot topic. It does nothing to do with the border security, has nothing to do with all these illegal aliens that need to get out of the country that are on the system, Medicaid, Medicare. I mean, 99.9% of people ain't dealing with nothing that got to do with the Epstein. So can we put this in perspective? Yeah, they should release it. Yeah, they should be transparent. You can walk and chew gum at the same time. I want them to be transparent. I'll be keeping an eye out for what I see next. But until then, I don't give a that much. I'll talk about it. I'll relay it. I'll ponder it. But it's not that big of a deal. Let's go to the real clip that you're supposed to post a minute ago. Roll it.
How can you say we should pay attention to the quality rather than the speed when the entire promise was 90 deals in 90 days? So we're going to get it done fast, reshape the global order. And Kevin says the stock market thinks these tariffs are going to work. But no, the stock market doesn't believe Trump. When he announced the Liberation Day tariffs,
it's an all-time high
the
today.
stock market immediately dropped when he announced Liberation Day
Where
tariffs.
are we today?
After he vacillated, people don't believe him.
All-time
Countries
high
don't
in
believe
all-time
him
history.
because nobody believes
Today,
that he's being
all-time
serious.
high
I think
in
you guys are saying the same thing, just by the way.
All-time high
I mean,
in
they're
history.
I think
All-time high.
his
You
point
can't
is that
debate
at an all-time high
I
because
know.
nobody
His
believes
point
it,
is that they're at an all-time high because nobody believes Trump.
Every index.
Because he keeps moving the goalposts. I'm so glad you played the footage. I was literally laughing watching Howard just like going every few weeks promising all these deals. And Besson should have sent that and shouldn't have been an appearance. Should have sent that as a text message directly to Howard Lutnick because that was clearly what that guy needs to hear. But overall, the reason why he's not getting these deals, I just think we got to talk about the big picture here. If you're a foreign government, ally or adversary, or counterpart, whatever, are you going to make a deal with Donald Trump? And how can you believe that the U.S. is not going to have a sporadic change 3 years from now? I think Trump has eroded global trust in the American economy and American deal making.
You mean the all-time high market ever in history?
It's high because they don't believe.
The all-time high?
They think Trump is going to chicken
never
out.
been higher. Never been worth more. Never been more successful. Never.
When the
It's eroded my trust. All-time high today at 4:30 in history. Never worth more. What are you talking about?
Well, look.
Well, let's.
Let me explain what y'all watching here. That's the difference between people who talk about money and people who actually make money. None of them have a portfolio that's scratching the butt cheek of Kevin O'Leary. None of them. Kevin O'Leary is a billionaire. Kevin O'Leary is an expert in the stock market. Kevin O'Leary is an investor. He was on the Shark Tank. You know how many businesses he's involved in, acquisition. I mean, he trained people. He is him when it comes to some of this stuff. And these peasants, financial peasants, are trying to articulate to a man that has been doing this longer than they've been alive. He's been making money in the market longer than they've been alive. And they're trying to dictate to him that he don't know what he's talking about. I would believe the person that makes the most money from the market in the room to give the best advice on what does this mean. Oh, they don't believe Trump. That's why then they're good. Then Trump is good for us. Hope they never believe him. So the stock market can keep breaking records, and people like us that got money in the market, we're going to just make more money. Is it a bad thing that they don't trust him and your money go way up here? It's foolish to say that. It's not that they don't trust Donald Trump. It's that they understand. I'm going to tell you this. I think that the market is going to go crazy because people already are anticipating that Donald Trump is going to make something happen with these tariffs. And it's causing, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. I'm not an economist. I'm just what I feel. So take it with a grain of salt. I feel like people are feeling this momentum of, I want to be a part of this when he finally break that deal with China, when he finally break deal, those deals and tariffs across the world like we expect him to do. I want to be a part of this because at any moment now it's going to break. And he going to sign that freaking deal and it's going to boom. And all of y'all who ain't put your money in now, or ain't investing now, you're going to be crying later. All right. Y'all said he was going to tank. Y'all said the market was going to crash. I remember people said the market was going to crash. Donald Trump, the tariff's going to crash the market. How is it at its all-time high ever in the history of existence? That's because the man know what he's doing, bro. That's all he do. Donald Trump, it's all Donald Trump do is money. It's all Kevin O'Leary do is money. And people that ain't make no money trying to tell them how to do money. All right. How much time I got? I got 8 minutes. I got to leave. All right. I love you guys. I gotta run. I will come back for my team. I don't know about y'all. Give me the super chats real quick. Let me try to read them real quick. I only got 8 minutes. I got to get to the barbershop at 3. Come on. Hurry up. Underlay, mijo. Just put the thing on the TV and I'll just read from here. All right. J. Pitt City. He messed up. Once he didn't comply to orders, he was under arrest. 100%. Once he was under arrest, he was ordered to get out. Once he refused to comply, he resisted. At that point, open season. It should have been open season. I said we should have whooped him a little more than that, but he didn't do enough to get whooped. There's 2 weapons just in the side of the door, a large stick, which could be a weapon, and a knife. I began reading Genesis like you recommended. Get back to you when done. Yeah, I told you, read Genesis till it get boring because Genesis gets crazy. Just read it till you got enough out of it. It's political theater. No one will be charged. I agree 1,000%. See, you must watch my show. Where are the perps? Why is the chick in prison if no one actually raped underage girls? Who are they? There's kind of a reason to it, but she was a middle person to engage in interactions. Jeffrey Epstein was one part. We don't know who all were the other parts, which I think there is a lot of other parts that they're not telling us. I don't know how egregious it is, but I know they're not telling us. You are being disingenuous, Officer Tatum. It ain't about J.E. people. I don't know what that means. Jeffrey Epstein. People care about all the things you listen and still want P files protected. I don't want to. I gotta go, but do you know that there's pedophiles in this that are being protected? Do you know that the people who are assaulted are all underage girls? Do you know who's on the list of people who are being accused? Do you know? You have no idea. You have no idea what you're talking about. But you're saying I'm being disingenuous. People are confused. There ain't no one side of it. It's not like people are upset because of this. No, people are upset about stuff they don't even know about. People are upset because of transparency. Then some people are upset because of Epstein. Then some people are upset because they're covering for pedophiles. Then some people don't know if there's pedophiles. They're just mad at the way Trump handled it. Everybody has a different opinion. Anyway, love you anyway. I got to get up out of here. Love you. Peace. Bye.
Oh, the